Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to another episode of Weekly Playlist. It's Friday again, and that means it's time for me to share with you guys the games I have been playing during the week, give you guys my thoughts and opinions on these titles, what I thought of them, whether I think you guys should play them or not. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on the games I share with you. I'd also like to hear about the games you guys are playing, because you guys always do talk about really interesting and cool games that you guys are playing, and it really has piqued my interest in quite a few titles, and a couple of them actually tried out from hearing about you guys playing them. I also appreciate any suggestions you guys have on games you think I should check out, as you guys have also suggested some really good games over the past couple of years of me doing this series, and it's helped me to discover some great games. I've also got a nice growing list of games to check out, so if you have any recommendations, let me know. It's been a pretty good week. It's been actually relaxing. I actually had the past 3 days off, so it was awesome. I was able to spend some time with my wife and son. Got to hang out with a buddy and do some gaming. Played some gaming this week. Also went out game hunting, everything. And now I'll be working later today. I got to do a 10-hour shift closing. The next day I got to close 10 hours. I got to open a 10-hour shift, and I'll be off Monday. Then I open Tuesday, and then I'm going to be off for 9 days on vacation starting next week. So I'm going to have my third vacation of the year, which I'm really looking forward to. Doing a bunch of stuff, getting more gaming and stuff. So we'll get started here. This week I have 2 games that I have been playing. One that I put a little bit of time in when my buddy came over, and the other one's one that I've really been focusing my time on. So the first one here is for Nintendo Switch, and this just came out last Friday, and that was Mario Golf Super Rush. Or not last Friday, I think maybe it was 2 weeks ago it came out. But either way, it's an interesting Mario Golf title. After playing this now for a few weeks here, I really do enjoy the game, but at the same time, it's kind of a little bit disappointment compared to the previous Mario Golf games. Now, the visuals obviously are very beautiful. Like, it's one of the best looking Mario Golf games they have ever made. Looks wonderful in handheld mode. Looks even better, of course, when you hook it up to the nice big TV. It's got a great selection of characters. So you have like 16 characters to choose from, and you can also play as your Mii character, which is really cool. So I can play as myself in the game, which is neat. And of course, you have your Mario, you got your Luigi, you got Wario, you've got Waluigi, Bowser, Toad, Donkey Kong, Princess Peach. I think Daisy's in it. There's also some new characters like Charging Chuck and King Babam and the Boo character. There's just a variety of characters, so they really did get the character selection done well. So this is, a game that has a huge roster of characters to choose from, when some of the older Mario Golf games, had kind of limited. You had like 6, 7, or maybe like 8 characters or something. So I do like that they had a nice variety of characters. However, the thing that's kind of annoying about this is that there's really only 6 courses to choose from in the game, which sucks. I wish they would have included more courses, because you have just kind of some basic ones. But some of the other ones, you do get some really interesting courses that have some Mario themes to it. Because, it wouldn't be a Mario Golf game without the Mario gimmicks of having stage hazards and stuff that you have to golf around and stuff like that. Like, some have boulder enemies that roll around. You have clouds that can push out air, and so you have to watch out because they can mess up your ball. Then you have those big tall cactus dudes who get in the way and mess up your shot and stuff like that. So you have that kind of hazards you have to avoid. You have a couple different modes of golf, which you have your standard just golf stroke play or match play. You have your classic golf mode. Then you also have this new speed golf that they added, where you all golf at the same time and race to be at the end. So back here it talks about speed golf. So you chase down your ball in a race to the hole. And then another thing they added to this, which is the part that I'm having the most fun with, is the golf adventure mode, which you get to go play through the story mode, where you start out as a little rookie golfer and you meet different Mario characters throughout the world. And like, there's a bunch of Koopas and like the Hammer Brothers and Fire Brothers, Toads and stuff, and you all interact with them, and some of them are teachers, and they'll actually teach you how to play the game. So I highly recommend that you check out the adventure mode and play through that first before you actually play the random play just, the regular game and just play random matches, because playing through the story mode will actually teach you how to play the game and how to control everything, because it seems real basic at the beginning, but it can actually be kind of complicated as you want to get better with your shots. And going through the story mode, you have different things you can practice, which I really like the practice modes. And, I'll have like one of the Koopas or something like, hey, I got a putting challenge for you, and it'll really teach you how to control the ball, because you'll have where you have to earn so many points, and there'll be like a circle grid where you have to get the ball as close to the hole or in, and you'll have like 4 different areas where it's like 10, there's like a dark blue, then there's a light blue that's 9, there's an orange and a yellow, all the way through 7. And sometimes you have to really control the ball to get it to stay in there, because if it rolls out, you don't get a point, and you only get so many tries before you fail the challenge, and you have to redo it. And what's really cool in the adventure mode is you actually earn XP, and you have levels, and every time you level up, you get an attribute point, which you can then put into your character, because every character in the Mario Golf game has different attributes. So of course every golfer controls differently, hits the ball differently. Every one of them has strengths and weaknesses. Some can hit the ball further, some have better control of the ball and stuff. And so when you have your own personal character, your Mii character, you actually can level them up as you play through the story mode, so then you can keep them competitive when you actually play the computer characters like the Mario and Luigi and them. So I thought that was something that was really interesting. I like that aspect. You can create your own character and then tailor adjust their attributes. And by playing through the story mode, you earn experience and stuff. And by doing those challenges, you unlock experience. And I'm like level 41 right now, and you can put money, and you can put points into like your power, so you can make your character hit the ball further, or you can make it so your guy runs faster or has more stamina. You can also put it into where you have more control of the ball, so you can then add like top spin or back spins, and you can hit the ball so it hits on the green, and then it'll roll back and stuff. So that's really cool. They do have a nice little glossary section in this game that you can look up through the menus, and you can learn all the different terms for the different golf terms. If you guys don't know, like what an eagle means, or what a par, or a birdie, or a bogey, or double bogey, which some people who aren't really big into golf might not know all these golf terms. You actually do have a nice little glossary section that you can check out. So overall, I had a lot of fun with this. Looking forward to beating the story. I'm probably about 2/3 of the way now done with it, as I've got 5 of the 6 courses unlocked. That was something I really liked, is you didn't have all the courses unlocked at the beginning. You have to play through story mode to unlock them, so I thought that was something cool. I kind of wish the characters weren't all unlocked at the beginning. Like when I first played the Mario Golf on Nintendo 64, they weren't all unlocked. You actually had to play these character matches where you would unlock him. Like you want to unlock Luigi, you actually had to face him in one-on-one golf, and if you beat him, you unlocked him, and I liked that, which I went through and unlocked all the characters in the game. It was just something that gave you an incentive to play. So I kind of wish they had that. For me, they just don't have as many golf modes as they did in the previous Mario Golf games. They just seemed like they had more content then compared to this new modern one, which is something that Nintendo and other companies are guilty of. It seems like as we're getting into this 8th and now getting into 9th gen, is they seem to, whenever they release sequels to these kind of games, they always seem to be, they give you less and less content, but they still charging the full $60 price. I have heard that Nintendo said they were supposedly going to support this game with some DLC, so hopefully they'll add some new characters and add some new courses and possibly some new golf modes. And depending on if it's free or they charge for it, will determine whether I want to pick it up. Depends on how much it is, if they do charge, and what the content is, if it really adds to it. It's a really fun game, though, to play multiplayer. You can play it online, of course. You're going to play with some people with some crazy good skills. But I had fun playing with my buddy when he came over. Him and I were playing each other, and it was just fun. You can play with the motion controls, which I wasn't a big fan of, but you can also play with the classic controller controls, hitting a button to hit the shot and everything, which is what I really liked. And then, you can curve your shot and do kinds of special shots and stuff. And so overall, it's an interesting and fun game. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's not the best Mario Golf game. It's not the worst either, but you'll have fun with it, and definitely would recommend it. I would just recommend trying to get, if you can get it on sale for like $40 or something, though. So let's play Mario Golf here on the Switch. And the next game here for the Xbox 360, which I just started back up playing. Hadn't played this in years. and I wanted to play the third one. That I said, no, you know what? I want to go back and actually finish the second one, and that is The Witcher 2: Assassins of King, the Enhanced Edition. So this is backwards compatible on Xbox One, so I've been playing this on my Xbox One X, and it really greatly enhances the performance. You know, the graphics get a nice upgrade, and one thing that really upgrades is the boosted of the performance, so the game rarely slows down, it loads real quickly, and so that's why I like playing it on my Xbox One X. So I went and hooked up my Xbox 360 and uploaded my saves to the cloud so I can then continue my story on Xbox One X here. Really cool game. If you guys haven't ever played the Witcher series, highly recommend it. You get to play as the main character, which is Geralt of Rivia. He is a Witcher, and I'll read you guys the back here. It says, a true hero story forges his own destiny. Geralt of Rivia is a Witcher, a professional monster slayer. He was abandoned as a child. He was subjected to rigorous training and mutation. A time of untold chaos has come. Mighty forces clash behind the scenes in the struggle for power and influence. The northern kingdoms mobilized for war, but armies on the march are not enough to stop a bloody conspiracy. Someone is hunting crowned heads. Every assassination attempt intensifies the chaos and might truly does make right. Cruelty and violence become a daily fare. So the main plot of this is that kings are being assassinated, and Geralt is the one who gets blamed for it, and so you have to go through the story to clear your name. And also he's lost his memory, so he really doesn't know who the hell he is. And as you play through the main story, you know, he starts uncovering his memories and remembers who he is and stuff that happens. And so it has a really interesting story. It's really cool. It's broken up in different parts. You have the prologue, then you have chapters 1, 2, and 3. And they are fairly long chapters. What's really cool is that there's actually two different parts to chapter 2. You have a choice between two characters that you can help. And if you go through one, you have a whole different quest lines to go through and side missions and stuff. And then you have the other one. You can't actually do both. However, you can, you know, just play the game twice. Or, you know, there's a point at the end of chapter 1 where you can leave a save where you get to do the choice. You know, you could go through all of chapter 2 and beat it. And then you could reload that other save and then go through and do the other choices and see how you like. Because then those two chapters then come together for the final chapter 3. So, really fun game. Controls very well. You know, it's a third-person action RPG, so of course you have your RPG elements. You know, you can level up Geralt with his like sword ability, but you can also unlock alchemy stuff. You also can unlock his magic abilities. It's just really cool since he's a Witcher, so he has access to all kinds of different spells. Like he can through fireballs. He can put protective spells on himself, so it's really cool. There's a variety of merchants in the game, so you can unlock different equipment. You got different swords, because Geralt actually has two swords he carries with him. He carries a silver one to fight monsters and demons and ghosts and stuff, because those are what they're hurt by. And then he also carries a regular steel sword when he fights his human enemies or dwarves or elves and stuff. So you have two different swords you have to switch between in combat. Sometimes you might be fighting both, and so you have to switch the swords, and you actually can switch that with the D-pad. The right D-pad pulls out his silver sword, left one does his steel sword. If you hit down, you know, he can put it away. So it's really cool. I love the combat in it. You know, it's real fluid. It moves real quick. Combat is cool because you can also block stuff. You can, you know, you fight enemies and parry. You know, you hack and slash your way through people. Variety of different creatures to fight too, which is really cool. It's open world to an extent where like you get these different sections and the different chapters that you can explore. Sometimes, you know, you have to wait for certain story progress to unlock it, which is cool. There's sex and nudity scenes in the game, so it's definitely not one for young kids to play. So mature stuff. The music in this is just phenomenal. It's awesome. And what's really cool is it actually comes with the official soundtrack. At least this version that I have does. Which I have seen some of these versions that come with a slipcover, and I think this might supposed to come with a map. My brother actually gave this to me years ago when he donated his game collection to me. This was one of the games that was in there, so it's just really cool. Highly recommend you guys check it out. Some other stuff talks about immersive, mature, non-linear story, so which is really cool. So it's an intense, emotionally charged, non-linear story, a complex, expansive adventure in which every decision may lead to dire consequences. Realistic, vast, consistent game world, spectacular, brutal, and tactical combat. So, which is really cool too is there's different ways to complete different quests. There's also side quests and stuff. And doing the side quests, I highly recommend doing because you can actually unlock attribute points. You can also unlock really high quality equipment for Geralt, because the game definitely gets really hard. You have an easy, normal, and then like a hard setting. And I've been playing this on normal, and man, it can get really, really brutal and difficult. I know some people who are playing it on easy even, and they still have some challenging times, especially in the beginning of the game as you're leveling up. I'm currently level 18 right now. I'm not sure what the max level is, but I know there's an achievement for getting to like level 35. But overall, I'm having a blast with this game. And I had read that there's something like 22 endings or something to this game and variations, because the different decisions you make through the story affects characters. Some might get killed off or not, who you ally with, who you don't ally with. So it's really cool. It's one of those games that you can actually play through multiple times. And what's really cool is you can actually import your save from this Witcher 2 when you play Witcher 3, which is actually the one I wanted to play. And then I decided, I'll just go back and beat 2 before I beat 3, because I actually had started number 3, and then I bought the Game of the Year edition, and I found out that the Game of the Year edition is treated as a separate game if you buy it physically, and so your save file with the other one isn't compatible, which I didn't get too far in it, and so I just decided, you know what, I'll start all over again in Witcher 3 after I beat Witcher 2, because I can carry over my choices into Witcher 3 from Witcher 2. So really fun game. Highly recommend you guys check it out. They do have Witcher 1, but that's only on the PC, and I never got a chance to play it, but I had seen videos of it, and it looked really cool. And I'm now on chapter 2 right now, so I'm about halfway through the game, and I did one of the 2 choices for the characters to get one of the different endings. So really cool. I really wanted to get the strategy guide for this game, but it is crazy rare and really expensive. It's like 40 to 100 bucks if you can find it. Like, there's only a few copies on eBay, really expensive. I do want to warn you guys too that this game has gone up in value a little bit. So locally this game goes for about $25. So online it's about that $20, $30 range. So it's not really a super cheap title anymore. But it's definitely worth picking up for that. Like I said, if you got an Xbox One X, it's compatible with that. Of course, if you have the Series X, that should be compatible with the Xbox Series X as well. And playing it on the Xbox One X, man, it really enhances it over the 360. There's a few bugs once in a while, but they pretty much ironed all that out through the different patches. They also added quests and stuff in some extra quests in the different patches as a saying, kind of like a sorry that you guys had some issues with it, so we added some content to the game for free for you guys for the issues you had to deal with. But overall, been having a blast with it. Definitely think you guys should check out The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings for Xbox 360. Like I said, it's backwards compatible on Xbox One. Of course, you can pretty sure that this is also on the PS3, and of course it's on the PC and stuff, but definitely check it out. Do our quick little recap. We talked about Mario Golf Super Rush here for the Nintendo Switch. It's not the best Mario Golf game. I mean, it's got a nice variety of characters. You got over 16 to play from beside your, you can also add your Mii character, but it only has 6 courses. Have your classic Mario Golf stuff. They added a new Mario Speed Golf, which is kind of the main focus of the game. You also have a fun little story mode. However, once you beat the story mode, you can play through it again as a different Mii character, but it's going to be the exact same story. But it's worth playing through at least once, because it gives you an idea of how to play the game, the controls and everything, and it's just overall a really fun story. So I'm looking forward to beating that. I'm getting close to that. I'm about 2/3 done with that. It's one of the Mario Golf games that's really fun to play with friends. Like I said, it's not the best game. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, and it's one I'd recommend you guys wait till, if you can get it for 40 bucks, because these damn Nintendo games rarely ever go down on sale. But if you can get it for 50 bucks or less, it'd be worth checking out. Definitely a fun game. And then also we're talking about, I also talked about The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings for Xbox 360, which is backwards compatible on my Xbox One X. Having fun with this. It's a great action RPG, has phenomenal music, the graphics are done really well, wonderful voice acting, huge story to go through. It's actually on two discs for Xbox 360, also capable of the soundtrack, which is cool. There is a strategy guide, which I would highly recommend if you can find it, just kind of rare. Otherwise, get a guide online, because it definitely will help you to not miss stuff, because there are a bunch of side quests, and if you leave that chapter, you'll lose access to all those side quests. So it's definitely worth looking at before you make a decision and have to go to the next section of the game and miss out on stuff. So definitely check it out. Let me know your guys' thoughts. You guys have played the Mario Golf Super Rush for Switch or Witcher 2 for Xbox 360. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts on these games. I also want to hear about the games you guys have been playing, and if you have any recommendations on titles you think I should check out, let me know. So you guys do always recommend really fun titles. I want to thank you for watching. Take care. Have a great day. It's Sleepy. We'll see you guys next time.